they do, maybe they don't.
Hey, either way. All right, so now we live. All right, I apologize about that. I made a mistake, had to back up out of there. So if you're watching, I appreciate you being here. But where we left off was I was asking if you knew anything, if you had seen the video, and you said you haven't seen it yet.
Not the
Assassination.
not the graphic version.
Yeah,
No, I didn't see that.
So have you seen any video like you saw like on the news where they just stopped it right before?
Yeah.
All right, so I get a text from my group chat, a bunch of old military friends, and my notifications are off. So I don't immediately notice that they text me. It's like 40 minutes before I see the message. Open the message and it just says, yo, look at this shit. I turn it on and it's a video of dude getting sniped, right? So I asked him, I said, yo, is this AI? Obviously, we live in the AI landscape.
Yeah.
I'm like, yo, there's no way that somebody just sniped Charlie Kirk. It was a way. So when they hit this dude, they hit him in the neck, and immediately I was like, nah, he's not going to make it. You could just tell by the way like his head was thrown back, the way his body fell out the chair.
Yeah.
It was, I'm not to be graphic, but his neck was gushing. That sounds crazy. But you could tell that he wasn't going to make it.
Yeah.
Right. So like I said, it was like 40 minutes after the video was shared. So I don't know how long it had been since he got hit.
Yeah.
But I'm like, yo, there's no way this dude is going to survive. But my immediate thought is if he does survive, based on all the stuff that he said about like gun control and all this stuff, I was wondering what he's going to say now. Because, you know, when people see things, you know, second and third hand, they have a different perspective on if it affects them personally.
Right? Well, he did say that he kind of didn't care if it would have lived through it.
Yeah,
I feel like he would have been proud of that moment.
You think he would have been proud of getting?
He definitely would have beefed up security.
Yeah. 100%. See, this is my thing. If you're going to an event knowing how volatile the things that you say are, why wouldn't you have like a glass or something in front of you?
Apparently his security detail wanted him to have more security. People were like, oh, how come he doesn't have more security?
Yeah.
Apparently he likes being closer to the crowd and having that direct interaction with the crowd. So,
yeah. No, I get that because, like, if you're going on campus, you think that you would, if you're going on campus and you're here to debate people, you want it to be as quote unquote informal and personal as possible. But you know the things that you say are inflammatory, right? And unfortunately, you are allowed to say whatever it is that you want to say. But people are going to have a reaction to that. And we don't know where that reaction is going to end, obviously. Right? So you can have the wish to be sort of more personal and have less security because you want the interaction to look a certain way. But this is the result, you know?
It's also one of those things, it's like you don't foresee.
Yeah, 100%.
It's like the girl on the train.
Yeah, oh my God.
Who just walked in the train, minding her business. She was on her phone. She was probably on TikTok or something.
Yo.
Sat down, wasn't even aware of her surroundings.
That I'm not gonna lie to you. When I seen that, and I'm not making an excuse for a guy, I'm like, yo, this guy has got to be mentally insane because you don't. Not to excuse what happened to Charlie Kirk at all, right? The guy is 100% in the wrong. You can't just take people out because you don't like the things that they say. When I seen when that happened to the girl on the train, innocent person, not inciting any violence, minding her business. Apparently she comes from Ukraine.
Yeah, she was a refugee, Ukraine
after
refugee.
After her shift.
Yeah.
You know, working whatever. I think they said she worked at a pizzeria. She's minding her business.
Yeah.
And this dude, he's like leaned up against the window and you can see his face. It looks like something is about to go wrong. In my opinion, it looked like that 100%.
It didn't look like that though. It didn't look like that's what he was
No,
gonna
no, it
do.
didn't look like that.
That's why it goes going back to the Charlie Kirk thing.
Yeah,
Who would have thought?
yeah.
You know, it's like you kind of prepare for the worst, but I guarantee you, their worst was never somebody on the roof
Yeah,
with
yeah.
a sniper pointing at him.
And how do you prevent something like that? Because obviously Charlie Kirk, he's a big Republican influencer, but he's not the president. You don't think that people are going to come up and you don't think that you're going to need to like survey the roof, have your own snipers on the
Yeah,
roof surveying and stuff like that.
yeah, because
So
although he is a very public figure,
yeah.
he's not the president, so they're not
No,
gonna have his security detail go out there days in advance and
yeah. And
scope out the place.
even if he did have his security go out there, right? You would think that it is a certain amount of safety because you're going to a school.
Yeah,
You're going to a school that should already have their own police, be monitoring any events that are going on. And they had a petition that received 1,000 signatures asking for him not to come. But you don't, once it's cleared, once the event is going on, you have no idea that the furthest it can go is actually being, you know, victimized by gun violence. You would think any rational person is like, oh, I don't like you. I'm going to throw something at you. I'm going to hit you. I'm going to say something inflammatory back towards you.
Did they disclose any motive on as to why he did what he did?
Yeah. So from what I understand, they said that the guy, his name is it Tyler
Robinson.
Tyler Robinson. I don't know why I said Williams. Tyler Robinson is the guy's name. And they said that he didn't like basically Charlie Kirk's ideology, said that he spews hate and, he's just opposed to his ideology. From what I understand, he was raised conservative. His father is a priest or he's in the church or something. Also, his father was connected to law enforcement. They were raised, in the Second Amendment culture. So
you would think that his views would kind of align with Charlie Kirk's.
You would, but then you have to remember, like, Charlie Kirk is I would say that he's a far right. He has like far right ideology. He's not necessarily Nick Fuentes, right?
Yeah.
But he does have far right ideology. And any normal person with a rational brain is not spewing the type of stuff that Charlie Kirk was spewing. Like, he was talking about stuff like, what did he say? I forgot, but there's a quote that's been going on about him, stuff that he said about black women, right?
Oh man.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. He had like a divisive ideology. And that's not to excuse what happened to him, but you have to remember, just because you're civilized, just because you put on a front of being civilized, you wear a suit and you purport yourself as being proper, everybody is not on that type of time. We have to remember, human nature is savagery. And at the end of the day, we could have all of the 401ks and the police and the politicians in suits, and we can talk to each other in a certain way. But human nature is savagery. We could dress it up any type of way. But when it's time to get busy, when people are like, yo, I'm fighting for my ideology, there's no limit to where that's going to go.
Ideology is still ideology, though.
No.
Like, how it's one thing if he was like the leader of the country and he was trying to actually implement what he talks about.
Okay.
And it's another thing if he's just like a political talking head, just spewing his ideology that you don't necessarily agree with.
Okay, so one of the issues that I have with political commentators in general, but especially the people on the far right, these people go and spew these ideas. And a lot of people on the left say, like, oh, it's a secret call to action, right? Where they're telling people to do certain things in like a coded language. And I don't necessarily know if that's true. But what I will say is, shit, I forgot what I was going to say.
But no matter how radical they sound or are, they never it never gets to violence with them.
Who? With who?
With the right.
With the commentators or with the right in general?
With the right in general.
Bullshit. You remember the two? This has been circulating. The two Democrats that just got killed over in Minnesota. A dude came up to their door dressed as a police officer, ended up killing two Democrats, left their house. I don't know if they were, I think they were, whatever their position was, they were in Congress.
Mm-hmm.
Then he went to some other Democrats' house and tried to force his way into their house. Like he killed the husband and wife, then left and tried to go get somebody else. Right? So I don't remember if that guy was on the far right, but it's not like
this was politically motivated.
He killed two Congress people and went to go kill two more.
Oh my God.
You know what I'm saying? Like specific, this is not like, oh, these were registered Democrats. These were actual people that were in, you know, some sort of political position. So like it could be a coincidence, but all roads are pointing to he was targeting these people. So it's not, that's what I was going to say. When you have incidents like this, right? The people that incite it, like you can say, I would say that Charlie Kirk kind of incites this type of ideology of violence towards others, right? Whether that anybody that's not of his ideology, like conservative, Christian, white, male, I would say to a certain extent, he pushes this ideology and they use these code words to cast people out. They're not the person that's going to go out and do the things that they're not going to take the action that they're inciting other people to take. Right?
Their followers
To take. And that's what's a problem in political commentary in general. Like the people that are just talking are not going to be the foot soldiers that go out and do the stuff that ends up getting people hurt. Right. So they can talk about, oh, like, you know who Jesse Waters is? I think he's on Fox. You know who he is? Let me pull him up. There's a dude named Jesse Waters. And basically the right's response to this has been like, oh, we need to fight back. We need to Waters. This guy. Yeah. So like I said, I'm not a promoter of anybody being, you know, taken out the way that Charlie was, right? But this guy, he gets online and he starts talking about, oh, we need to fight back against the Democrats. This is their fault. He's not going to do anything.
He's not going to do anything, but
he wants somebody else to go through their life away.
His base is definitely going to listen to that and run with it.
Yeah, 100%.
And I mean, the writing is kind of on the wall, though. This kind of started something.
Oh, 100%.
We're probably not going to see anything like now or tomorrow or next week.
Yeah.
I feel like whoever is probably going to do it is going to plan it and trying to execute the same way, if not worse.
Yeah. And I'm not wishing for violence on anybody. What I'm saying is the people that push these ideologies that cause people to go do these things are not going to be the person that's going to carry it out.
That's true.
They're getting other people to do their bidding, and then they can get online and continue to make money talking about it and inciting this type of violence.
Do you think that's their intent, though?
Yes.
When they're saying these things?
Let me see if I can pull up what he said. They are at war with us. Let me see. Fox News star Jesse Waters reacted to the killing of right-wing activist Charlie Kirk by insisting that they are at war with us before asking his colleagues and viewers, what are we going to do about it and how much political violence will they tolerate? Does that sound to you like he's telling people to go out and do something?
Absolutely not.
No?
That definitely doesn't sound like the what the governor of Utah was saying this morning. He was more so talking about let's not let this escalate. You know, to
I'm not talking about the governor of Utah. I'm talking about Fox News star Jesse Waters, who has a bigger platform nationally and globally than the governor of Utah, said, what does it say?
They are
at war with us. What are we going to do about it? How much political violence will we tolerate? That sounds like he's telling people, hey, you know, discounting all this stuff that has also happened to Democrats. He's saying, hey, we're being targeted for being conservative. What are we going to do about it? Like they're literally intending to incite another civil war. In my opinion.
Although what he says does add fuel to the so-called fire,
Okay.
I don't think if any type of retaliation were to occur, that that him not saying that will actually stop that type of retaliation from happening. You know, I feel like when it happened, somebody is already probably like, "Oh, I gotta get them back."
Real quick, Hypno Z said, "What's your thoughts on this MAGA on MAGA?" So do you know that they are saying this guy is and his father turned him in, right?
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on it being somebody that is in the right wing that actually did this to him?
That's what I feel like we gotta get more of the story, because there's levels to the right wing, you know. Even though I have some conservative views,
Oh, I
I'm
know.
I'm not all the way out there, you know.
Yeah.
And we just got to hear more about it, because the guy apparently he was dressed as the president for Halloween at one point.
Okay, so he was the Donald Trump supporter.
Yeah. So you would think, again, when I heard that, I was like, I thought it was gonna be some rainbow colored hair guy.
You thought it was gonna be a trans person, and it wasn't. It was somebody that. Okay, it says apparently he was the follower of Nick Fuentes, which you know who Nick Fuentes is. Okay,
that's like
far.
Yeah.
So this is my thing, and I talked about this when I did my long form video on this. If you don't like what Charlie Kirk has to say, you come up with better ideas and you combat those ideas. Because what they've done instead is they've created a void that Charlie Kirk was filling, right? Now he's gone. Somebody has to fill that void.
Yeah.
You have a bunch of, like Charlie Kirk is 31. A lot of the other top voices on the conservative side are older than him.
Yeah.
Candace Owens, Tucker Carlson, Matt Walsh. All of these people are a bit older, right? Yeah. So the younger generation that Charlie Kirk could appeal to, they're going to look for somebody that can speak their language, that looks like them.
Yeah.
And Nick Fuentes, even though he is he half? Is it Mexican? Is he Mexican? Whatever he is, he's white passing.
His last name is still Fuentes, I guess.
Yeah, but he's white passing. So people are going to look to him and they're going to be able to follow him and be like, yo, Nick, what should we do? Granted, shout out to Nick. He did, not shout out to him, but to his credit, he did come out and say, like, you know, I'm not inciting violence and I don't want people that are followers or supporters of mine going out and doing stuff like this. I don't support it. But the damage is already done. And the people that were looking to Charlie Kirk as like their North Star are going to look to Nick Fuentes, in my opinion.
You know, I just had a thought. If it's MAGA on MAGA, then who's the retaliation going to? Because they already got the guy.
Yeah, you can say that, but they did start sending out threats to HBCUs. 3 HBCUs on when Charlie Kirk passed, on Wednesday.
That was before the facts, though. That was before.
It don't matter though. These people are looking for somebody to be mad at.
Yeah.
You know, okay, so do you remember Liam Neeson, right? A couple of years, maybe about a decade ago, Liam Neeson admitted his friend got assaulted. Then he started looking for any black person to take his anger. Yeah. So it's not like when people are mad, they're not rational. When I got in a fight I got angry at a dude at Target because he cut the line. He was in the back of the line. I was in the front of the line. And he jumped the line. And I was just upset at something. And I took it out on him. You know what I'm saying? It's not always rational where you point your anger. Sometimes you have displaced anger that you're going to point at anybody that you can find. And when Charlie Kirk keeps saying, hey, these are the others, like the people that look like us and think like us, as such as the MAGA guy, these are the in crowd, and blacks, women, trans, anybody else is the out crowd. you leave a narrow window of people that you can be mad at. You can't be like, what's the lady's name? Nancy Mace.
Mm.
You know who that is?
Mm-mm.
Okay, Nancy Mace is another congresswoman. And after all of this, when this initially started happening, what she said is, "Thank you for that super chat. I appreciate that. We got $1.99.
Appreciate that.
When all of this started happening, Nancy Mace was like, basically that they had to retaliate. When it came out that he was a white guy, she's like, "Oh, thoughts and prayers. We need to pray. We need to pray for his soul." Like, come on, yo.
What?
Like when it's, when you think it's the other, you're like ready to attack and you're ready to go to war. Then when you realize it's somebody that looks like you, you're like, hold up a minute. We got to pump our brakes. We need to pray. We need to be good Christians.
Nancy Mace is a Republican.
Of course. Yeah. Of course. And, I understand the anger. Somebody that you have a relationship with, somebody that you care about, somebody that shares your ideology, you feel like you're being attacked. But before they had any of the information, they were already targeting an idea of somebody. So where does that come from? Right? How do you start calling up HBCUs, putting in threats when you don't even know what's happening?
Yeah. So they thought, they didn't think it was somebody from Utah. They thought somebody drove from another state.
Man, okay, so this is my thing.
Like, why? How would somebody drive from another state, have a map of the entire school, get on the roof?
So the guy he didn't even attend the school. So I'm not going to say like it was impossible for somebody to come there and do what they did. But what I will say is, if it was a black dude, he would have stuck out like a sore thumb.
Yeah.
Ain't no black people in Utah.
Yeah.
That's
why I never thought it was a black person that did it.
Yeah.
Like, bro, it's Utah.
At first they were like, it's a trans person. So let me pull this up. Let me see if I can find this, because I did.
Well, we still don't know that. We don't know what he identifies as, or what his sexuality is. We don't know any of that.
It don't matter. At the end of the day, they have to paint a caricature of what they thought the person would look like.
Because I thought that would be the only motive, especially when this came out and said that the guy was also a Republican.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, then that will be the only clear motive as to why. Because it's not the Second Amendment.
Hold up. You said what would be the motive?
The sexuality part. I thought he was either trans or...
He might still be, but...
something that's not...
He might still be, but he don't look like he transitioned. If you look at a picture of him, he got arrested.
No, he looked like a normal...
What's his name?
Tyler Robinson. Robinson.
I keep saying... I said Richardson, Williams, Robinson, right?
Yeah.
Robinson.
I can see how they probably thought it was a black dude.
Why?
Well,
look at, man, there's no black person. I don't know that there's no black people in Utah.
The last name.
Robinson?
Yeah.
All right. Okay. All right, man. Like, but like we said, a black person in Utah would have stuck out.
Yeah.
Like, you had to be somebody that could blend in. And I said this initially when they released these first images. I said, I knew it was a white person initially because it's Utah. Yeah. And then I knew he was going to be conservative. Because look, dude got on Oakley's. He got on a hat. He got on a shirt that
the American flag
with the American flag and a bald eagle on it. That is from my military experience, that is the white boy uniform.
Or he could have just been doing that just to blend in. So he doesn't stick out like a sore thumb, like you said.
Or that's his regular attire because he's one of them.
But if you look at his normal pictures, like I guess his real life pictures, he's not wearing that stuff.
He got the Oakleys and the shades right there.
Yeah, but I feel like everybody in well, I don't want to generalize, but
that is the normal attire of all of the most of the Caucasian guys I was in the military with. They wear the Oakleys, always got on their hat, got some Chucks on. Like, that's the uniform.
Chucks is very liberal.
Yeah, you think so?
Yeah.
I never heard of no liberal shoes, but
You know, if he had on Under Armours, then that would be like, okay.
some Under Armour shoes. Man, I don't know, man. But my thing is, they were rushing to try to find a caricature of what this person was supposed to look like, being on the left, which is who they wanted to blame initially.
Yeah.
And then come to find out, he may have been a supporter of Nick Fuentes, maybe like even further right person than Charlie Kirk is. Like, said you got T-Pain on your stream. I'm gonna buy you a drink. That's funny. We're talking about people who don't have critical thinking skills. Their ability for mental gymnastics surpasses Simone Biles. Hey, that's like that. That's funny. But you're right though, because when, like I said before, I'm just going to say this again. When they're looking for anybody to blame and they just start saying, oh, it's a black person, and then they called up the HBCU, and then what if somebody that has nothing to do with it ends up getting hurt because you have painted a mental picture based on who is supposed to not like Charlie Kirk, and then they couldn't even find initially like a character profile. Yeah. They arrested an old white guy. Then they said, oh, that wasn't him. Then they arrested another guy and said, oh, that's not him either. And then they started like, because of some engravings on the bullet casings, they tried to, on the bullet casing, they tried to say like, oh, it has to be a trans person. So they started looking for like a certain character because they're like, nobody, like, this is not what white people do. White people don't shoot other white people. I guess for it to be one of them, not only just a white person, but a conservative as well.
They try to rule out, I guess, a normal person being the suspect, like an average normal.
That is a normal person.
That is.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. There has to be more to the motive that they're not disclosing, because this just can't be it.
Why not? You don't think that, you think because he may have had this similar ideology, he may have had the same look, that it can't just be the fact that I don't like this guy.
Unless it's personal.
Personal in terms of like, I don't like your ideology. I believe in something even further right than you, and I don't like the things that you align with. I 100% think this is politically motivated.
Yeah.
And I think this is coming from an even further right position. Do I think there's nothing about this situation that points to me and be like, at the information we have so far, like, oh, this dude's a Democrat and he's defending leftist quote unquote ideas, right? Everything that we see, like, we know conservatives to be gun-toting, American-loving. Like, I believe he was Mormon as well. Like, these people, this guy does not seem to be somebody that's on the left. He doesn't come from a family that's on the left.
Well, again, to piggyback on history that just happened recently.
All right, talk to me.
The guy who set up the Catholic school or church, he was super left-leaning, but he somehow believed in the Second Amendment.
You talking about the church with the?
Yeah.
He was not. Oh, you said he was super left-leaning.
Yeah.
Okay. So you're saying because he was in the church, what is the point you're making? I'm sorry.
The point I'm making is I don't think it matters like what side, whether or not he believed in the ideology. You can be from the left and still. I lost my train of thought.
So I'm not saying that the left or the right is to blame. Yeah. What I'm saying is they tried to make a character profile, and because of that, they're like, oh, it can't be anybody that looks like what we think a conservative person looks like. It has to be somebody, a Democrat. They started saying it was trans, and they said it was this person, and then it was an operative, and then it was Mossad. You know who Mossad is, right?
Yeah.
Israeli intelligence.
Yeah.
It says he was part of Antifa Discord service and had Antifa and anime type shit written on the bullets, was speaking to his family about hating Charlie Kirk. I'm
So
not.
how was he right leaning? And Antifa is
I have no
like,
idea what Antifa is. I'm not gonna lie to you.
I from what I heard, they're like super left leaning.
Okay. And it says, I don't think he's conservative either. That's wild to shoot someone with the same political. For one, it's wild to shoot somebody with because of what they think anyway, right?
What they think, not what they're doing or what they're trying to enforce. What they think, literally what
Yeah,
they think.
and I'm not with that at all.
And that is
100%
scary
not with that.
because like I don't want
I'm
any
on here telling people what I think. Like,
I don't want to share my religious beliefs, my political beliefs, any of that stuff now cuz you don't know who's gonna,
yeah.
you know.
Yeah, I was talking to my wife about this, and I was saying, like, actually, let me tell you, I was having a conversation with some older guys, some older black guys that I work with, and we were talking about how, and when you're growing up, you understand that the things that you say, you have to be willing to take whatever consequences
Yeah.
come behind them.
Yeah.
And that's not to say, like, I'm not saying at all that Charlie Kirk deserved what happened to him. I'm not saying that at all because I disavow the action behind what that person did. But when you are ready to make a stance on something, some people may not like that, and you don't get to dictate other people's reaction. Whatever they say, whatever action they have based on what you say, to them it's always going to be valid, right?
Mm-hmm.
So yes, it was a lot for him to do. I think it was a overreach just because you don't like somebody's ideology. But to him, he's like, hey, I did the appropriate action based on what my beliefs are and how I feel about the situation. And it's unfortunate.
Although he died in the process in a very brutal way, do you feel like he somewhat was, I guess, you know how there's a saying like you, as long as you die doing what you love, then it
No,
was worth it,
hell no.
or it was at least you died doing what you love.
Hell no. I don't think Charlie Kirk would feel like that at all.
You don't think so?
Hell no.
Mm.
I think he would be pissed.
No.
I think he would be pissed. He out there giving a speech. This is the thing. Even though he had a certain ideology, nobody wants to be brutalized in that way. You want to continue to spread what it is that you think about the world.
Yeah.
I'm sorry if you guys hear that thing in the background. Hopefully they turned it off in a second. Let's give it a second. I need to fix this thing anyway. I have the best neighbors ever. I want to pull up.
Make sure that's not my car.
If that's you, that's gonna be hilarious. Oh, that was you? That's hilarious. I want to pull up some of the stuff that's been said, and I'm gonna bring it up on the screen. Is this? Oh, this is crazy. Okay. So this is Donald Trump. Let me switch screens. So this is Donald Trump. It says, my condolences on the loss of your friend. How are you holding up? It says, I think very good. And by the way, you see all the trucks. They started construction on the new ballroom for the White House. All the outrage about what happened to Charlie Kirk, only for Trump to turn around and just be like, oh, forget him. Have you guys seen my ballroom? That's crazy. Let's check this out. You can hear it? Yeah. You guys let me know if you can hear that. Oh, man. Hold up. There we go. My bad. That's our president. Somebody asked him about his friend that passed away, and the first thing he has to say is, "Yeah, I'm good. Have you guys seen my ballroom?" This dude is a clown, man. This dude. Hey, I appreciate that second super chat. It says no audio from video. I'm gonna have to fix that. I guess we're not playing no more audio because I can't fix it right now. I don't go live very often, so I definitely don't want to do that again. Let me see. I had some other stuff on here.
Maybe he was just.
Go ahead.
He was just making. I don't want to say making light of the situation, but it's such a heavy topic that he's like, oh, let me spruce in this something on a lighter note, I guess.
No, man. Somebody just passed away. You purport to like have a lot of love for this dude.
Yeah.
And as soon as somebody asks you about how you feel, how's your week's been going, you're like, oh, fuck that guy. My ballroom's doing phenomenal. Like, come on, yo. Have you got let me tell you about this awesome thing that's going on in my life. Man, I tell you, boy. This dude is crazy. So I don't know if you saw this, right? So we talked about the initial arrest of the older guy.
Yeah.
They had that dude. I was making this joke with my wife.
I saw him with handcuffs.
How they had him by his neck.
No.
You didn't see it? They had the old dude, like 70 years old. They got him grabbed by the base of his neck.
I saw a picture of him in handcuffs.
Oh, let me see.
They were holding him by the neck like he's a cat or something.
Yo, they were holding him like a dog. Yo, you know how like if your dog, when you're potty training it to not use that bathroom in the house, and you hold him like, look what you did. That's how they had that dude.
I gotta see this.
All right, let me see. First, Charlie Kirk suspect. Then the FBI comes out and says like, oh, they're basically taking credit for the work of catching the dude, right? After 2 failed suspects, they had the old guy that they initially arrested, questioned him, had a second guy that they arrested, and Kash Patel, the FBI director, comes out and says about both of these people, oh, we got them. And then he turns around and is like, no, we don't have them. When they finally catch the dude, he goes and takes credit as like, oh, after 33 hours of phenomenal work, his dad turned him in. These people are so incompetent, and they go and take credit for, I appreciate it. Thank you. They said we're doing great. It's the FBI goes and takes credit for arresting this dude when all they had to do was go and put handcuffs on him after somebody else already identified him. Yeah. The best they could do was find the gun in the woods, and then because that's what I was saying about the profile. Because this dude looks like every other white person in Utah, I would assume, he's going to blend in. So they couldn't find him. Yeah. And then they go and take credit for the work. Like, oh, look at the phenomenal work we're doing. You guys are incompetent. The best thing that they can do is keep obfuscating about the Epstein files and all of this and pointing to bullshit. Yeah. They can't do actual work. Yeah. Crazy son of a bitch had a vid of him running across the roof. Yeah, he did. Did you see that?
I saw that.
Yo, that was...
He was hurt too when he jumped from the roof. Yeah. Because I guess they showed another video of him. Okay. Running, walking through the neighborhood. Yeah.
I thought limping. That was before. That was after.
I think that's after. That was after he jumped off the roof because that was pretty high.
So I hadn't seen the video. I did hear about the video, but I hadn't seen it. And I thought that initial video of him I thought the video of him walking was him walking with like the rifle in his pants or something. Because you could see his leg was kind of stiff. So I thought he was like concealing it down his leg so that nobody, because like how did you travel to the school with the rifle?
I thought they said he stashed it somewhere.
I thought that was after. I don't know. Either way, it's like it says, yeah, the self-congratulations was pretty wild. Under other circumstances, that dude would have been halfway around. Yeah, 100%. If they hadn't pointed out that, hey, this is my son that did this, and the guy had some money to get away, he could have like taken a bus and got out of town, right?
That's risky for the parent too, man.
You said it's risky. Yeah.
Yeah. Now you become an accessory.
Okay, but if his son hadn't told him, right? His son confessed like, "Yo, dad, look, I did this," and his dad is like, his dad did the right thing, 100%.
Yeah.
For one, we can't have like lawlessness just because you disagree with somebody. If the response to not liking what somebody says is always going to be, we're going to take it to the extreme.
There'll be
We won't
nobody
have a
left on
country.
earth. Yeah.
Like, we have to have a place where, right now, you have different ideas than I have.
We all have
We can't just
different
go
ideas.
outside and be like, hey, somebody, like, we're going to start taking people out.
Yeah.
We can't have that. But shout out to the pops for turning him in. For one, it's the right thing to do. And two, you don't also want to make yourself an accessory or put a target on your back. The police end up finding out it's your son. They come and raid your house or something.
I guarantee you, Pops was like, I'm not going to jail for you.
Yeah, 100%. And he shouldn't. This is a grown man. I believe, how old is he? I think they say he was 18. How
I
old
think
is
it's
he?
22.
22.
Yeah.
Either way, you're a grown man. You have to be responsible for the decisions and the actions that you take, right?
I think he was, the saying, don't do the crime if you can't do the time.
Yeah, 100%.
I think he was ready to do the time.
Look at his face. Let me show you his face. Let me show them this dude's face.
No, I'm not saying like he's built for that.
No. What I'm saying is he don't give a shit.
Yeah. I'm
He
saying
don't
he did this knowing that if he got caught, he got caught.
Yeah, this dude don't give a shit.
He truly probably feels like I'm
What he
doing
did
the
was
right
right.
thing. Yeah.
I had looked up a few people that have been like huge political figures that have been assassinated, right? And I talked about this in the solo video that I did. The last person that was like on a national scale that was brutalized like this was a senator back in 71. Before that, it was Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, like people that have been murdered in public. Like, and this is crazy. We haven't seen this in multiple decades.
Yeah.
Somebody that's such a huge figure. And, Charlie Kirk may not have been a global figure. I don't know that he is or he isn't. But he's just made him if you don't like this guy's ideology, you just cemented his place in history.
Mm-hmm.
They're always going to talk about the huge conservative powerhouse that Charlie Kirk is. Whether you like him or not, the dude did have a huge platform. Donald Trump credited him with helping him get elected by, converting, quote unquote, a lot of young men to the conservative side. So if you didn't like his ideology, you just helped infamize what is the word I'm looking for? Make him infamous.
Yeah.
You just made his ideology infamous.
Because some people are gonna look at him as
A martyr.
They're Malcolm X or they're MLK.
Which is crazy to say, but there are people out there that like and agree with Charlie Kirk.
A lot of the things he said.
He had 3,000 people at this rally at a college, right? So, yes, some of those people were there to debate him and they didn't like him, and he had 1,000 signatures against him. But at the end of the day, the currency is attention.
Yeah.
So regardless of if it was negative, they say all publicity is good publicity.
Mm-hmm.
Regardless of if it was 2,000 people that liked him and 1,000 people that didn't, he had 3,000 people show up. That's a ton of people to motivate to do anything.
Yeah.
Right? Especially, he's not a political figure. I mean, he is a political figure, but like, he's not somebody in Congress.
Just a talking head.
He's the talking head that was able to get 3,000 people at one event. And he was doing a tour. This was, I believe, the first event of his tour.
Dang, it was the first event.
The first event of his tour, yeah. And, unfortunately, for him, this is where the show ends. But this dude is going to make him live in infamy for a long. He didn't say anything crazier than what you end up hearing at a church on Sunday. Who is that? Are you talking about Charlie Kirk? No, I think some of the shit he said was crazy.
Yeah.
Let me pull up.
They're not spewing that type of information in church.
Charlie Kirk. negative quotes. Let me try that. He definitely said some crazy stuff. Where was the manifesto? I don't know that there was a manifesto from the kid.
Oh, I saw the black pilot one. Did you see that one?
Yo, he said he would be
that's crazy.
scared if he would have to question if there was a black pilot.
That is crazy.
That is crazy.
No.
Okay, he said if I see a black pilot, let me so you guys can see this as well. I don't want you to think I'm out here spreading bullshit and libel and slandering his name. It says on race, if I see a black pilot, I'm going to be like, boy, I hope he's qualified. Come on, yo. Like, why would you assume that they're not qualified? I know that people, I don't know how many black people there are down in the chat, but growing up, there was a constant saying in the black community, you have to be twice as good for half the opportunity, half the credit, right? So you can say all you want that like black people are not qualified or this black person you feel like is not qualified or they have an attitude, but nobody's going around handing out jobs because you're black. Like, you guys know I'm a network engineer. Nobody's giving me an opportunity to work on their network because I'm black.
To earn that.
The things that we do affect the way that people are able to do their business.
Yeah.
If they say, oh, you can do this because you're black, and I go out and fucking take somebody's network down, that's going to be a huge issue in the way that they make money and the products that they're able to produce. So I don't understand this ideology where they say like people are getting opportunities because they're black, whether it be a judge, a pilot, an engineer. People have to actually work and be accredited. So if you can point to me a specific thing where somebody got a job because they're black, then I will concede on that point. But if it's just your feeling like, oh, this black person has something good going for them and they got it because they're black, that's not evidence. Your feelings are not evidence.
And a pilot at that, usually they announce how many hours they've flown.
Yeah.
Before the flight and stuff. So, I mean, come on, man. You're flying for a major airline, you have thousands of hours.
And nobody's going to let you fly their plane knowing that they're going to be liable if something happens.
Not even Spirit.
So they had, I don't remember the, do you remember was it last year? Was it this year? It was this year. Damn. So much stuff has happened in 2025 that I forget that we're only 9 months into the year. Like we're over the halfway mark.
Yeah.
But it seems like so long ago. Do you remember the person that ended up, the two planes that crashed? It was a plane and a helicopter. Mm-hmm. And initially they were like, oh, this is a DEI hire. And then we found out that one pilot was a white guy and one pilot was a white woman. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
Like, do people think that everything that's bad is attributed to, everything that's bad is like, oh, this person is a DEI hire? Even the white woman, they're like, she's a DEI hire. This military pilot that's gone through hours of training.
Yeah.
Like, do you think people are just getting jobs and
just off the strength of
the military is putting people's
minority
lives at risk?
No.
In order to give opportunities to people?
That's not how it works.
It's not happening. All right, let's go to the second thing on race. It says, if you're a WNBA pot smoking black lesbian, do you get treated better than a United States Marine? I don't even know what he's talking about, but that's crazy.
Brittany Griner.
Okay. Oh, he's talking about her being traded for the prisoner of war?
Yeah.
I'm not going to lie to you. I disagree with that. I don't like this statement at all. I don't agree with this statement that he made, but I 100% do understand how we cannot be trading a arms dealer for a WNBA player.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Let's check out something else he said. Let me see if they have anything besides on race. On debate. He said, I want to go to the one that he was talking about on gun violence. This was crazy. So I don't know if you guys are privy to this, but I'm not saying what happened to him is okay. What I'm saying is these are his words. Charlie Kirk said on gun violence, I think it's worth it to have a cost of, unfortunately, some gun deaths every single year so that we can have the Second Amendment to protect our other God given rights. That is a prudent deal. It is rational. See, unfortunately, you can have these types of views when you're not the person that's on the receiving end. Most rational people are going to say, hey, one is too many, right? Like that's the Democrats' stance. If you're on the left, usually the sentiment is one life is one too many. That's the whole ideology of them trying to push gun control. When you come out and you make a statement and say, I think it's worth it.
He said every single year. That's crazy.
Where's that?
He said some gun death every single year.
Yeah, that see? And unfortunately, he's a victim of his own. The irony, it's ironic that this happened to him because he's the one pushing for people to be able to have weapons. And I listen, I like to shoot.
That's why I was saying, like, yeah, clearly I'm pretty sure he's not happy that he's no longer here. But he says this with such conviction that
because he believes it. End. No, it's because you're not on the receiving end. Okay, so you know about the militarization, quote unquote, of the DC Guard, right? Mm-hmm. How they sent people into DC. Do you remember why that happened?
Because of high crime in DC, right?
Yes and no. So right before they federalized MPD, right before they activated the DC National Guard, they had a guy that was on the Doge team that they said was defending his woman. He ended up getting jumped by some kids. They said it was 10 kids, and they came back and said it was a 14 to 15-year-old boy and girl. Immediately after that happened, right before we had more of the details, Trump was like, yo, this cannot happen. Why did he say that? Because somebody that he finally knew was the victim of a assault, right? When it hits close to home, that's when you're incentivized to do something about it. So Charlie Kirk, you can say this about gun violence. You can say, and this is his words, this is his record. This is what he's going to be remembered for. I think it's worth it to have a cost of, unfortunately, some gun deaths every single year without exception, so that we can have the Second Amendment to protect our other God-given rights. That is a prudent deal. It's rational. You can have an ideology like this where you're not on the receiving end of gun violence. You can say, oh, some people's lives don't matter when you're not on the receiving end. But when you have to be the person, as his wife is going to be, that has to look down in the casket and say, like, yo, this woman has a 1-year-old and 3-year-old that are never going to see their father again.
Actually, they will, but in a very gruesome way. Because somebody is gonna, once they go to school, some kid is gonna pull up to them and be like, "Hey,
yeah." Just like how they say, like, one day you're going to grow up and, like, kids whose moms are on OnlyFans. Like, one day you're going to grow up and see somebody's going to say something about your mom. Yeah. One day his kids are going to grow up and somebody's going to repeat this to them, that their father had the ideology that some people should be able to be deleted in order for us to have a Second Amendment right. And they're going to say, well, your father's a victim of his own ideology.
I think the fact that he says it's
every
worth it.
That's what I'm saying. Part. That's your legacy.
Yeah. Because you don't have to state that it's worth it. It's going to happen. It happens on a yearly basis at this point anyway. I feel like we've become so numb to it, too.
Not even yearly. It happens multiple.
Yeah.
It seems like it happens multiple times a week.
It's the fact that he says it's worth it. That's.
Okay, it says, I mean, guns exist, though. If it's not guns, it's knives. If it's not knives, it's fists. The world would be a safer and probably better place without guns, but idealistic, not real. I agree with you. I agree that this is what I'm saying. Our human nature is to be violent. People are violent. The reason why we don't go to the extreme is because we've decided as a society that in order for all of us to be safe, we're going to have rules, we're going to have decorum, right? We've decided that we're going to wear suits, we're going to have jobs, we're going to lock our doors. But if somebody does try to brutalize us, we have a Second Amendment right to protect ourselves. That's where we stand today. But when you have the ideology that, some people's lives it's okay for some people to lose their lives because I want to keep my weapons. Like, this is the thing that happens. And it's not okay. It's not okay for anybody.
You can still keep your weapons without saying that.
Yeah, that's that.
Because the people
exactly.
that have their weapons don't say that,
This chat
but they still
says
do.
it happened at the same time he was getting shot. Did you realize that?
Yeah, he was talking about gun violence.
And he was talking about gang violence.
Yes.
He was saying, hey, are we counting, when they were talking about mass shootings, he like, yo, are we counting all violence, or are we excluding gang violence? As soon as he said gang violence, that was it for him. So like, go back to being a certain profile. You have this profile of what gun violence looks like, and the majority of gun violence looks like, only to be a victim of the thing that you're advocating for, specifically advocating for a little bit of gun violence, but then saying like, oh, this is the most gun violence happens in gangs, and then this is not gang related.
It's not.
It's just crazy. Let's get to another. I done beat this horse dead. So let me go on to Islam.
No, don't do that.
Okay.
Don't do that.
You like, nah. Okay. It says, reject feminism, submit to your husband, Taylor. You're not in charge. I'm not going to comment on that one. I believe that a man is in charge of his house in conjunction with his woman. You know, it's a shared effort, but somebody has to be the head. Somebody got to be the CEO.
You see, I'm so glad we actually got to that. So the same way you believe in that,
okay,
is the same way somebody believed in that previous quote we read.
No, I believe you 100%. I believe that somebody believes that. But what I'm saying is,
but
this is a personal choice.
That same person that believes in that previous quote probably looks at this one and is like, oh my God.
The difference is, it says it's tragic regardless of your views. Definitely reject feminism. My thing with this one is, in a marriage, that's between you and the person that you're with. Whatever you guys decide is okay, is okay. I believe in a man, like if we look at this as marriage, let's just look at it in terms of business. There can only be one CEO. Somebody has to be the head. This is not like, what do they call that three-headed monster? A hydra? What do they? It's a three-headed mythological creature. I forgot the name of it. But everybody can't be in charge. You know what I'm saying? So on this thing, this one point, I do agree with Charlie Kirk.
But that's what you believe.
Yeah. But so I can believe that because the person that I'm married to, we've made a decision of how we're going to move. But when you say that other people, where is it at? But when you say other people can be brutalized, because I think it's okay I think some people's lives are less worth it than mine, because he's not going to advocate for this for himself. Do you think Charlie Kirk is like, I know we're getting back to this and we're beating a horse dead, but it is what it is. Do you think Charlie Kirk, with him saying the thing about marriage and feminism, he's going to 100% agree with that and be okay with the results of that? Do you think he's okay with him being a victim of the results of what he thinks about gun violence? You're taking a long time to answer. The answer is no. He don't want to be on the receiving end.
No, some people truly believe what they're saying, man.
I'm sure that some people do believe it. He's been in...
For somebody to say something that loud in a microphone multiple times, you don't think they believe it?
No, I think he believes it, but not for him. That's what I'm saying. It's okay when it's somebody else. It's okay when it's somebody else. It's okay when it's like an abstract person. It says, what feminism has become is tragic. I think that it's gone from where it started. I stand with its foundation of it's not congruent. I stand with its foundation, but it's not congruent with what it's become. 100%. We're a long way from where we started with feminism and people getting equal rights. It says it's not advocating for it though. It's the reality. You're a network engineer, so you know there's no perfect choice. There's only trade-offs. Yeah. Are you referring to feminism or are you referring to gun violence?
I think he's referring to feminism.
Okay, explain it to me. You're saying like, I think they're talking about gun violence like he wasn't advocating for it. He's saying that it's a reality that some people are going to be victims. Stop skipping my shit. I pay. You know what that is? That's my little brother. Let me see what he said. My bad. It doesn't have what did you say? Oh, you said shame on the dad?
What?
Crazy son of a bitch had a vid of him running across the roof. They didn't do nothing. Shame on the dad. You don't think the dad should have turned him in?
Oh man, I would turn you in real quick.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie to you.
I would turn. Street code doesn't apply here.
No, I'm not gonna lie to you. I probably wouldn't turn my son in.
What?
I ain't gonna lie to you.
Nah, I'm turning
Hey,
you in.
listen, we're going on a
Because
run.
either way, they're gonna get you.
It's if he want to turn his son in, if he want to give his son over to the law, then you know,
I'm turning you in.
I hear you, but for one,
Because before I even turn him in, before it even gets to that point, I'm already gonna raise my kids as, hey,
that's what I was about to say.
don't do the crime if you can't do the time, man.
Nah.
And don't come back to this house after you done the crime either.
Listen, man, I would hope that I would hope, because this is something that an irrational person does. But I would hope that I instill things in my kids where they not only value their lives, but value the lives of others, right?
Yeah.
So I hope we never even have a remote situation like this where my kids think it's okay to do something to somebody unprovoked.
It doesn't have to be that extreme. It could be anything.
Yeah, period.
Like the first thing I'm gonna ask my son or daughter, either what? And you came back to this house? No.
Nah.
Gotta go back out.
Man.
Nah.
When we were talking about the person's thing, it said not advocating for it though. He was talking about the gun violence.
Okay.
About like, you know, some of it is unavoidable. And some of it is unavoidable. But I'm saying it's not okay.
It's not worth it.
What Charlie Kirk said is it's worth it. I understand that it's going to happen. My brother said, I would just be like, I'm not turning you in, but you're on your own. I'm not going to lie to you.
That's the same thing.
Yeah.
You might as well turn him in.
Why? If you went on your own to go do it, then you must have had a plan. Go follow that plan.
What do you mean he's on his own? Like he got to get out?
On your own. Yeah. Like, hey.
But then you're still an accessory anyway, because you're already a wanted man, and there's
I appreciate you. I appreciate you joining. You have a good night as well. That's my little brother. I love you, and thank you for the super chat. Thank you for participating.
Appreciate that. He's heading out.
Yeah.
All right.
You met my little brother?
I don't think I met your little brother.
All right. I had him on one of the early episodes. It was.
Yeah.
Yeah. I can't believe it's been a while. I got to get him back up here to talk about something. All right. I think we did it, man. I think that's where we're going to end it. You got any final thoughts on this situation with Charlie Kirk?
Obviously, condolences to his family.
Yeah.
No matter what his beliefs are, nobody deserves this. I'm sure they're going through it right now.
Yeah, 100%.
You know, again, the people who were celebrating it, y'all ain't shit, man.
Yeah, I'm inclined to I understand if you don't agree with somebody, right? If you're like, I understand if you're like, hey, I'm not shedding no tears for you. He said some things that are insightful, that are hurtful to people.
Yeah.
But like celebrating anybody, I don't know. Because if David Duke passed away, I'd be like,
Who? David
Duke, the Grand Wizard of the KKK.
Oh.
Yeah, so I don't know. You don't have to mourn him. You don't have to celebrate him. You can feel how you want to feel about him. Me personally, especially as a father, I can't look at this and be like, this is not okay.
You don't have to mourn him, but you don't have to celebrate it either.
Yeah. As a father, I can't. I appreciate that, Matt. Thank you so much, man. That's huge. He came through with a $20 super chat.
Oh man,
yeah, that's crazy.
Shout out to Matt.
Yeah. As a father, first and foremost, I cannot like this hurts my heart,
Yeah.
to be honest with you.
Yeah, yeah.
Because if you guys don't know, I have 2 kids. That lady has 2 kids. She's going to have to raise those kids by herself. No matter how much money they have,
Yeah.
you cannot substitute having a father in the home. If we talk about all of the problems that stem from not having a father in the home, we can't advocate for somebody to be taken out for their views and then somebody to be left as a single parent, knowing all of the stuff that comes with that. I just don't advocate for it. Like I said, you don't have to love them. You don't have to like them. You don't have to celebrate them. You don't have to mourn them. But this is a tragedy for somebody to lose their life over their ideas. All right.
Just words.
Yeah. I appreciate you guys, and we will be doing this